Hi, I'm here with Raphael and Sean from ReEnergized, and we're going to learn about their optimization studio and some of the treatments that they offer in the health and wellness space. Let's start with you, Raphael.
Bonjour, I am Raphaël, and I am currently the COO of ReEnergized. I have been a professional athlete for the last 5 years and have plenty of experience in the sports industry for the last 14 years.
And then tell us a little bit about yourself, Sean, as the founder of ReEnergized.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm the founder of ReEnergized. The concept for the business began seeing my grandfather get sick and die, and my father get sick and die, and I don't want to get sick and die. So I am trying to figure out wellness treatments to be able to live a more fulfilling life and be around for my family.
Great. And why don't you tell me more about your personal journey? Anything specific that really resonated to make you take this journey in terms of building
Well,
your
I play water polo as well, and exercise a lot and eat pretty well, and I'm finding that I keep gaining weight, and I experienced at a young age. My father caught multiple sclerosis at 43. I was a quadriplegic by 49, and he was dead by 63. All the while, my little brother and sister, who are much younger, experienced a father that was in a wheelchair that became a quadriplegic, and that really resonated with me on my personal struggle to not want to have this similar fate for my children. So I've been trying to figure out other ways to mitigate potentially catching multiple sclerosis or understanding better why it is that I keep gaining weight. I'm still not successful in finding a path, but in this journey, I've found other people don't really think about alternative wellness paths until they have a problem, and then it may be then too late. So I'm glad to know that I'm getting my children involved, my wife involved. It's a family affair for us to all have a better understanding about how to control our lifestyles and have a better health span.
And then anything about your journey, Raphael, that you'd like to add in terms of something that you've been working on that really has resonated with you and your experience with Reenergized?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with a 12 millimeter herniated disc on my lower back, L4, L5, back in 2020, and it was a big obstacle in my athletic life, and also going on to this professional athlete visa. It was just excruciating pain, but also very big obstacle for me to practice my sport and like perform at the higher level. And back then, Sean had a hyperbaric in his garage, and so I decided to like hop on in after practice, which was very late at night. And I really enjoyed doing all those treatments because I was going through chiropractors, PT. Some surgeons had recommended me some anti-inflammatory medicine, which I was really and strongly opposed to. Um, so I dealt with a lot of pain on this early 2020 stage, fixed it with a lot of life adjustments, personal, professional, athletic ones, but also this new holistic treatments that Sean had in his garage. And I had another very severe pain that happened in 2024, 2023. And that disc had herniated furthermore to 18 millimeter, same area, L4, L5. And everybody had told me that surgery was the only solution for me, and I really wanted to avoid it at all costs as possible. I wanted to avoid as much medicine and drugs to put in my body. So I decided to go through the same life adjustments that I had done in 2020, and some worked, some didn't. Some worked for a little bit and then did not work, and I just kind of ran out of options and decided to, research a little bit more into the biohacking, the holistic journey, and did a lot of red light treatments, did a lot of hyperbaric treatment on top of all the life adjustments that I had made. And I found that this was a great relief for me without having to put all those drugs into my body and trying to figure all these things out. So that's come on pretty much how I came around re-energized and wanted to help others with this.
And one of the things you mentioned, you said that Sean had a hyperbaric chamber, and that was your first experience with it.
Yes, it was, which was great because at the time, like I think hyperbaric wasn't really around so much. It wasn't that popular. And just having Sean's invitation and being able to go at like, I don't know, it was like 9 p.m.,
Yeah.
10 p.m. sometimes after practice, and just finishing my swimming session, which will help my muscles, and just go into this lifestyle and having that consistency of like going in there 2 to 3 times a week just helped me a lot.
And
Yeah.
Sean, how did you get introduced to hyperbaric? I mean, what was your first experience?
Well, I think it stems around the fact that as I kept going to the doctor, I'd have to do injectables or ingestibles. And I don't like putting things in my body, whether I digest them or whether I inject them. So I wanted to find more non invasive, equipment based treatments that I could do with greater consistency because I found that if I do a mild hyperbaric oxygen treatment one time, that's great, but that's like going to the gym one time. If I do it 10 times, okay, I get a little bit more of a benefit. But having one at my home, and this one cost me 23,000, I was able to go in anytime I wanted. I could put my kids in. I could go in with my kids. I mean, heck, the one that I have, LeBron James has two of them, and he's 40, and he uses one at his away games, and he has one at home. I saw that Marky Mark had one, and I thought these guys are cool. I want to have one, and so it's a no brainer when you have some of the most popular, highest performance actors and athletes making these sound decisions and they're not ingesting and injecting themselves. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do what they do at the highest levels and win national championships. That I mean, I would go in that hyperbaric chamber of the garage at 3, 4, 5 a.m. If my 7 year old would wake up, I'm like, hey, let's go in there. And they would get improved cognition. My 12-year-old loved it so much that she would go in with greater consistency, and I would go to practices to pick her up, and the coach would randomly say, "Hey, well, what have you been feeding Victoria? Like she's so much more focused, she's so much more alert." And like whenever I try and tell them, they don't know what a mild hyperbaric chamber is. So it's kind of like their cognition, their focus, their ability to concentrate better, their muscle recovery, the prevention of injuries. I mean, when you're a little girl putting in 20 hours a week, like my 14-year-old and 12-year-old were, they get injured all the time. But with these little enhancements that are home, it's been a world of difference. This was the burgeoning concept to be opening up our proof of concept re-energized, which is to be highlighted as a showroom. But many other franchises and other businesses are doing something of a similar vein. What makes us unique is I want it to be more of a showroom where you go in and do like a test drive for a car, test drive any of our treatments, but everything is for sale. Most of it can be rentable and you can have it in the comfort of your own home. So you could do it whenever you want. So it's accessible and at a price point that's affordable. So you can do it with consistency. And that's the importance.
And with the hyperbaric chamber, can you just summarize exactly what it is for somebody that's never heard of it and is not familiar with that?
Well, more specifically, what we're speaking to is the mild hyperbaric oxygen chamber. People will kind of zone out when I go into the laws of physics, and I mean, there's Boyle's law and Henry's law. But basically, with pressure, you get increased density of oxygen molecules on a drop of blood up to 4 times with extra oxygen, then you get a compounded effect, many multipliers above what ambient air would be of pressure. And that helps to increase your blood flow, reduce your inflammation, increase your cerebral perfusion, which is blood flow to the brain. And it increases the amount of oxygen inside your blood. So your blood has plasma, which is a percentage of the liquid. I think it's somewhere around 30 or 40%. And that plasma goes throughout your body, but the oxygen is not as is rich. So the hyperbaric for the pressure and the oxygen helps to enrich the blood with more oxygen to be able to help heal.
Thanks for explaining that. And Raphael, when you first discovered that Sean had this, what was your first experience like? Were you skeptical or did he explain all those details or did you have a sense of going into it when you met with Sean?
So yeah, the first time was definitely quite the experience. I have to say that I wasn't a big believer at the time, but it was all those different things that I've tried that wasn't working. So I came over to Sean's place and he had a very similar spiel that was a bit overwhelming at first, I gotta say, but as I got into it and as I did research, it was understandable and very easily comprehensive. But yeah, the first time just got in there, I immediately felt like this very cocooning effect. Like I was very relaxed and very
Comforting.
comforting. Exactly. Inside the chamber, it was very comfortable, and um, I immediately felt a lot of like relaxed and like a lot of endorphins being released into my brain. So I was able to relax and just enjoy the time there. The main effect that I had felt was more so into the following 24, 48 hours. I had great night of sleeps. I had a great awakening as well. My brain was really awake and on the morning after. And that was during a period of high stress when COVID was coming through, and we were trying to jump through hoops to find different things in order to make this unprecedented event work. So very stressful event, and I felt like that chamber also helped me not only on like a physical point, but also on a mental point. And my stress decreased a little bit. I was able to make decisions quicker, better. And again, a better night of sleep. I was awake throughout the whole day, starting from the alarm sounding on. So yeah, it was again quite the experience. But the more and more I went into it, I just became a big lover of the hyperbaric, and I've been into it right now. I mean, I've known about hyperbaric for now 4 years plus, and I put that as a regiment in my everyday life. I go in there every morning for at least an hour, do my work into it. Gives me my private zone, my private little area, and I enrich my body with oxygen, which then my body decides where it needs it most, whether it's my brain, my back, my muscles for recovery purposes. But yeah, it's just amazing that I'm able to work into an environment that offers such treatment and modality.
Keep in mind that we are talking about a mild hyperbaric oxygen chamber. There is a difference between a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and they're often at a larger amount of pressure in a hard shell chamber. What I've found is, and though we're speaking to our experiences, each person is unique, and we're speaking from our own anecdotal experience. I've got a number of wearables like the Oura Ring and the Whoop Strap and the Apple Watch, where I like to measure certain things. And with the Oura Ring, there is a tag that you can put when you do a hyperbaric session. And I've recorded 350 dives, which are sessions anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. So I've spent probably about anywhere between 350 to 500 hours in a hyperbaric chamber over the past 4 years. And with that, I was able to extrapolate from the monthly trends that my percentage time of deep sleep and REM went significantly up. I was prescribed with sleep apnea, and I still haven't fully fixed that. I got a CPAP, and the CPAP did not work for me. I would wake up, I'd be restless, whatever. However, with the hyperbaric oxygen sessions, I think that either it's the increased oxygen in my blood that's helped me to get there, but my deep sleep has gone from 15 minutes a night to an hour, hour and 15 minutes a night. And as you know, deep sleep is the greatest sleep for recovery for your body and your brain, as well as the REM growing. To the point of hyperbarics, regular hyperbarics that are hard shell chambers that are FDA approved have 13 FDA approved treatments. As we're speaking at this moment in time, mild hyperbaric is only for one, and that's for altitude sickness. That being said, we are using the mild hyperbaric oxygen chamber for our benefits off label. And what off label means is it's not FDA approved for this use. There are benefits that are derived from it, but the clinical studies have not been sufficiently done yet to be able to prove, to be able to be getting FDA approval for mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So there may be other people that are more comfortable speaking to wanting to get higher pressure above 1.3 atmospheres or 30% more than ambient air, and think that that's going to give them a benefit. I think Raphael and I've found that even though it's not a 2 atmosphere or 2.2 atmosphere chamber, the benefits that we derive either with ambient air or with enriched air, which is a greater concentration of air, because air typically has 21% oxygen. If we go with the greater amount of oxygen, then the benefits that we get from mild hyperbaric are a large percentage than going with a regular hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And the reason that the distinction is important is the cost to be doing hyperbaric oxygen therapy is significantly, let's say, on the scale of 3 to 5 times more expensive per hour to do. And if the importance is with consistency, you've got to be able to be thinking of the value proposal so that you can do more with less and get an outsized effect with inflation and with everything else, every dollar counts.
So let's talk about that. You said that the hyperbaric chamber was $23,000.
Well, if you can pull it up, I'm proud to say that we work with OxyHealth, arguably the best supplier in the world, if not supplying the greatest amount of chambers. They provide a number of hyperbaric oxygen therapy chambers, and you can see that they're at various price points. You've got the Solace, the Respiro, the Vitaris, the Qualvis, and the Fortius. If somebody wanted to go in and deal with the steel chamber and the higher pressure, they could have that benefit. But if you look at the cost, I mean, the cost is almost 13 to 15 times more than the cheapest hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber. So if somebody really needs the benefits and they want to just get the benefits and they can squeeze into a smaller Solace, 210 represents 21 inches for the diameter of the chamber. So if there's a child that perhaps is a special needs, and it's not FDA approved for special needs, but many doctors are prescribing hyperbaric or mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy for those with special needs because it increases cerebral perfusion. It increases cognition. So I mean, if you end up buying a $10,000 chamber, or we offer where you can rent it for $1,000 a month, up to 3 months, and then if you choose to buy it, then you credit your rental fee to the purchase, or you just return it.
What about for the people that want to come to your studio and talk about how they can come to your studio that you have in Long Beach
In what sense?
in terms of using the hyperbaric chamber? People that
Well,
aren't familiar with it.
we'd love to have the clients come in and experience it. We allow for as little as 15 minutes to get a feel of the process of pressurization, depressurization, understanding how to equalize in the chamber, seeing if it causes them claustrophobia. A fair percentage of our clientele feel some claustrophobia. Some people are nervous. It's almost like a taster where people can go, "Oh, well, what is this? And why is this? And how does this help me?" And, "Oh, it's a novelty. Oh, wait, it's not a novelty. Oh, this does something." Right. So
Well, we've been able to put like a few patients that came through that had suffered from claustrophobia, and a couple of them, if not most of them, were able to endure like 15 plus minutes, all the way up to like 30 plus minutes, and ask for more time while being in the hyperbaric. So we are able to also cater for those people that have like a little bit of an enclosed environment issue. And then to your point, and to answer even more your question, we also have set up packages for hyperbaric. Um, these are meant, and we thought about it a lot, just so that we could bring this consistency for people, have this greater experience and those greater benefits from it. So it goes packages of 10, 20, and 40 sessions for a very cost effective price that is going to be something very affordable for everybody to come into this mild hyperbaric treatments and save great costs onto any of those treatments.
And let's actually talk about some of those. You have the 6 hours of re-energized.
there was something else to note with the
Mhm.
claustrophobia. We do have stacked treatments that can be done in our mild hyperbaric oxygen chamber. We have brain entrainment exercises, stress relief exercises, and red light therapy that can be a targeted light therapy that helps give a cooler, calming effect. Like, let's say with the brain tap, you get to listen to, if you want to have ambient sounds like a river flowing or ocean waves or raindrops, with a mask that covers your eyes with a blue light and red light that goes in your ear for a auricular increased blood flow. And that puts you into a calm meditative state where you'll have the compounded effect of the cocoon comfort of the hyperbaric with the pressure, but also getting to relax. Many of the people that go in that are nervous end up falling asleep. And if we don't have any other customers, we'll just let them stay a little bit longer, and they'll wake up like, "Oh, I was out. How long was I out? Oh my gosh!" And it's kind of like a fun feeling that we get that that our clients are like, "Wow, that was so awesome that I got to just take a break from the hustle and bustle of the everyday."
Especially when they can leave their phone out. Like you're able to take your phone in, but a lot of people just like, no, this is my bubble. This is my time.
Mhm.
Here's my phone. I don't want to have to do anything with anyone. And you just, again, like we've talked about it, are in this comforting cocoon that just surrounds us.
It's a moment to unplug from some tech for the day.
Yeah,
Yep.
not just that, but also, I mean, the detoxification benefits. If somebody's not able to get out a lymphatic drain, it helps. They found uh, some smart Israelis had done some studies about pressure and oxygen with air, and they found that it reduces senescent cells, which are also known as zombie cells. As we get older, our body's not able to process not fully functioning cells, and they become zombie cells in the body, and that's what causes us to stutter and not remember and go through that. So, as we've been diving more deeper into hyperbarics and into re-energized, it's become an epiphany that wow, we almost have a fountain of youth on our hands where we could be focusing on helping people have a better lifespan, a better quality of life. We can focus on extending their life with longevity by reducing the senescent cells or the zombie cells. And then it also has been found to increase telomere strands. Telomere is like the little plastic cover on shoelaces, where I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. What is that called? The little plastic thing on
Little
shoelaces,
things.
that's a telomere is like that for our DNA strands. And as we age, an epigenetic or a physical a manifestation of our aging is our telomere strands, and they become more unwound and shorter. But with hyperbaric oxygen therapy, at a certain pressure and certain amount of time and a certain oxygen, they found that that can increase the telomere strands by 34%. So not only are we getting comfort, cognition, mental health, relaxation, detox, beauty. I mean, you get more blood flow to your face. It increases collagen production. Like I love this is why I love Reenergize because every day, the more we learn, the more we're astounded, the more that we're at the forefront of the newest way of health to live better longer.
And let's kind of go a little deeper into that because you have the 6 R's of re-energize. So we talked about hyperbaric, helps with sleep and stress. And then you also mentioned some things like the brain tap, which is part of that. So can you maybe go a little bit deeper in terms of how that works?
Okay, so at Reenergize, we are offering a variety of wellness products that are for sale, rent to own, or rental. Uh, the few of them that we have are red light therapies. These two Lumiflexes are actually FDA approved, Time 2023 Invention of the Year. They're great. I have one at home, the Essential, and put it on my back whenever I do some yoga, some stretching. It pretty much generates energy into your body. And the way it works is the red light goes through the skin and through a few more layers. It activates mitochondria into your cells, which create ATP. ATP is the energy, and your body needs O2, oxygen, and ATP energy in order to function correctly, on top of the food and the beverages, of course. But this is great for your body to be boosted.
And how would you summarize the difference between the essential and the pro?
So the Pro is a higher end device that is Bluetooth, waterproof. The little battery on the back actually detaches. It can connect to your iWatch
Mm.
and beat to the same beat as your heart. The Essential does the exact same treatment as the Pro as far as red light goes. It just isn't Bluetooth connected. It's not waterproof, but they both do provide the same treatments. It's just for a different type of, I guess, demographics or how you want to use it. We have tested it. Actually, we actually tested the Pro into our cryotherapy, and it is one of the only red light pad that is able to endure that very, very cold temperature.
And how cold is it in there?
Negative 220. Going back to It's great that people can come to our showroom and use our stuff, but our intent is to have them be able to use it wherever they are, whenever they need it, with whomever they want, and not have to deal with parking, not have to deal with scheduling with us, not having to come in. So the reason that we sell it, of course, if you're a membership, you're going to get a savings from retail. But like for example, my grandma has an essential, and she had a Charlie horse for 2 weeks, and she was telling me, "Oh, I have this Charlie horse." And I didn't even think to remind her, but one of her girlfriends was like, "Hey, you have that red light. Why don't you put it on?" And after 2 sessions of 10 minutes, her Charlie horse went away. My wife, of course, I got her one, and she uses it on her chest if she's sick or coughing, because it increases the blood flow, and it helps her get through that. My sister-in-law has belly pain, and it's helped her to get through the stressful belly pain of maybe endometriosis or something like that. We've let sports teams use the red lights for temporary pains, and the red light therapies originated because NASA, they would be growing vegetables in space, and they wanted the red light to help because it would grow the vegetables faster. The findings was when you're an astronaut, you get tested abundantly when you come home, and they found that the person that was handling the produce to grow under the red light had a denser bone matter and did not experience any of the osteoporosis that comes from being in space. And they're like, "Oh, we're onto something." So we not only sell, but the intent was to rent to make it more accessible to people to use it at their own time in their own way. We had a nice lady who had a surgery. What was her surgery for?
I believe it was a tummy tuck, or was it the?
No, it was it was something on the chest region. I forget. And she used the sauna space photon torpedo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she
Yeah,
had like a upper body surgery, medical.
yeah,
Wasn't a plastic surgery, but yeah, she used that
right.
uh, infrared sauna,
Yeah,
which is similar to red light and infrared sauna. So it's the same type of light. The infrared light just goes a little deeper into the skin. Rented it, yes, for I believe it was 2 weeks after the operation, and she came back with a big smile on her face. Told us that the doctor was like
amazed.
amazed by
Yeah.
all the results that she had and how quickly she was able to recover.
Now, keep in mind these are anecdotal. Each person's experiences are unique, and I don't want to be having it seem that we're selling witch oil or anything with that. But a big reason for these at-home wellness products too are like my grandma's 100 years old, and I love her to death. I've got 3 kids. We've got businesses. I can't be with my grandma all the time, but if she gets sick and she's living in Whittier, I can't be there all the time. But knowing that she has the red light pad, knowing that she has a portable salt therapy chamber, which we talk about, knowing that she has vibration therapy, she catches a cough or she gets the flu, she goes in there and she already has, she got over it. I mean, she was in the hospital and they released her on hospice on her end of days. And I don't know if this really helped as much as it should, but she credits the fact that she had red light therapy, that she had a vibration therapy that we offer, and that she had that portable salt chamber that helped her to reduce the inflammatory cytokines. It helped her to increase the circulation. It helped to reduce the inflammation. It helped her get the phlegm out. Even the fellow that owns a hospice that came to visit us is like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" And like every child wants to love their parent and wants to be there for them, but they don't have the time. So, what is the best thing to do than to gift them a wellness product where, like, every flu season they're going to have that issue and they're going to remember that you're there and you got them that for them to help them get through it when you can't be there all the time. So, that's why I think our at home wellness products are the future of wellness and health. Like, who goes into a doctor's office anymore? Yeah, I mean, you still do. I don't want to take over for the medical establishment, but one, you don't have time. Two, you don't know if like what requirements are going to be. Three, all of the news of various things that are coming about, not to get politically, but we are starting at a new shift where we need to be taking a little bit of control of our own ways to try and live a better life.
Well said. Let's go to the next product that you have there. LS Pro system. So tell us a little bit about that.
So these are also red light pads. They are specifically made for hyperbaric therapy combination. These are great to put in as a combo treatment for within the session inside the hyperbaric, or as well as outside. So the pads that you see on the front are actually things that could be wear. It could be just a mask. It could be something for your shoulder. It could be something for your back, for any part of your body. The little box on the side is able to plug in six of them at a time. So you're able to basically get six localized red light therapy on your body at just your home, your leisure, wherever you want it to be. The other item that we see in the background is our MX Power Bed Pro. This bed is wonderful. It has red light, blue light, and infrared light. So it has a combination of all those lights, and depending on the recipe you choose, which goes for pain, relaxation, skin, power healing, body balance, etc. It just has this right ratio of each of those lights for your body to be supplemented with this extra light. It's very, very powerful to do it right after a hyperbaric session. The reason is while you are into the hyperbaric dive, your oxygen get your body gets enriched with oxygen. This oxygen then needs to be given to the right organ or the right part of your body that is at most need. The only person or the only thing that needs where it needs to be done is your body. So if you start walking around, if you leave our facility and start walking and do everything, then it's just going to go into your walking muscles. However, if you step out of this hyperbaric treatments and go into this red light bed, by you just being relaxed and not moving in anything, the oxygen is going to be distributed to the right part of your body or the right organs of your body that is at most needs. On top of it, you have the ATP that is being created by those red, blue, and infrared lights that is going to be joining this port into in oxygen into your body. And so that combination is magical. And I don't have a better word for it, but just having these two greater ports of holistic things that are created by your body or by Mother Earth brought into your body and not having to do anything about it and just laying down on it is, like I said, I think magical is the right word for it.
And one of the reasons that we have multiple red light pads is they do provide unique benefits, like these LS Pro System pads that I work with Dr. Zaid Ratanzi on. He uh, he distributes them to professional relief pitchers who have bone chips and bone fragments in their fingers. And I can't think of a higher pressure performance athlete that needs a body part to be able to get something done. So if you want to be getting the best of the best, LS Pro Systems has it. And we're able to supply it to you at a savings as a member, or just if you just want the best, you don't want to be a member, we can do that too. But also, the red light pads for Lumaflex are at a lower price point, and it's different different benefits for different types of people with different needs. The bed, I go in, I fall asleep in 8 minutes. We listen to some of the brain tap, and I just love melting in there, and the fact that you have the shell that gets both sides of your body, and the six different healing recipes that you mentioned before. I mean, it's fun. I've got photos of my three kids that would go in, and they'll just be fighting, and then after 5 minutes, they're all passed out, and they derive the benefits from it. So we highly recommend that if you get a chance, come in and use the LS Pro System bed. They go for 10-minute sessions. You can go up to 20 minutes. If you want to do more, there is no time that is too much. With that, we recently got a new item called the Energy Lounger that is more for musculoskeletal, and it also has red light at a lower price point,
And
uh,
infrared lights.
and infrared lights. It's also got the best cell phone charger I've ever seen. I I've got an iPhone 12, and so I'm always having to charge my iPhone, and I love just putting it there, and it speeds it up and it gets it going. If that gets you guys to come in, we'll throw in the cell phone charging for free. but it's anytime I have like 20% battery and I'm on low battery, it's always stressful. So it's good to have that thrown in. But the energy lounger is for those that do deal with claustrophobia and don't want to have the clamshell that you can see behind us that closes up on you, and it helps in a different way. So a red light is a very emerging market, and there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out on the precipice, even in cosmetics. I was at a beauty conference, and Estee Lauder and other brands were looking at potentially having red light with their lipsticks because we are at that next step of an emerging technology that's going to be more everywhere, and we'd love to be able to help perpetuate it further and get it into homes more so that it can provide better benefits to people at a lower price point.
I also wanted to mention like two very quick questions that are frequently asked to us. The main one, first one is very easy to answer. There is no UV lights in any of those pads. So all of those all of those red light rays are very beneficial. There is no
Those
problem.
wavelengths. Yeah.
Wavelength are very beneficial. The other question that is often asked is any of those pads or beds anything that is going to be a heat pad or is it going to be heated? The answer is no. None of these pads, none of this bed are heated. However, a lot of people come
Mhm.
out of those treatments but feel like it's really warm or a bit sweaty on wherever part of the body they put those pads. The reasoning behind it is those lights are going to create ATP, right? ATP is energy. Energy, by the creation of creating energy, you get you get heat that is associated with it.
You
So
get
if you think
vibrations, good vibrations.
exactly. So if you think about it, same for a car. Like whenever the car is moving, it creates this energy and you have heat that is
Mhm.
compounding with it. Same thing with those lights. So your body is actually creating heat that is then provided to the pad or the bed. So this is how the heat is created. But none of these devices are heat powered.
Thanks for sharing that. So let's go on to some of the other devices that you have. We talked about the hyperbaric chambers. So let's talk about the relaxed sauna and how that works.
So the relax sauna is a great machine to detoxify most of all. The heat is going to take all the toxin off of your body, the sweat. Everybody knows about those saunas. Now, what those people have done is they've combined, again, two great treatments. Number one, the heat that we just talked about for detoxification, but it also has infrared lights that goes through it. Once again, the infrared lights are non-visible with the naked human eyes, so you can't see any red coming out of it. However, the wavelengths of those rays are much more powerful and can go much deeper into your tissues. So this is combining the heat and the light therapy that is brought into this one little zipper box that is transportable, very light, very easy to detach, reattached. It heats up in seconds, and you're sweating in also seconds.
Yeah, we have regular commercial grade infrared saunas at ReEnergized, but our impetus is for the in-home or at-home or on-the-go wellness products, and nothing is, in my opinion, at the price point, is more beneficial than being able to pop something like because we're both water polo players, we can get an extension cord, pop an infrared sauna on the pool deck, and we can go in the pool, hit the shower, and then hit the infrared and detox, get rid of some of the other stuff that's in us, and it's the benefits from detoxing anywhere at any time is very important. So if you don't have a lot of money, I'd highly recommend getting a portable infrared sauna, and you may be able to derive the best benefits from it if you're on a budget.
Excellent. So let's talk about the salt effects Howland generator. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, Salt FX halo generator. Yes, it's in layman's term, it's a toothbrush for your lungs. It pretty much clears everything that is into your respiratory system. The way it works is we have pharmaceuticals grade salt that we put into this box, which is a generator. It crushes this salt into microparticles that are going to be released into the air, into the chamber, into the box, whichever you are. And then by just simply sitting there and breathing this air through, it'll absorb all the mucus, all the bad things from your system and just get rid of it. It's very good for after flights because you have this recirculating air that is a little bit, full of bad things that we don't want to have and keep in our body after a flight. So hopping in one of these after a flight is the best thing you can do, as well as just healing yourself from any of the um, sickness that you're on. If you're congested or anything, hopping into this chamber a couple times a week, gone, done deal.
Yeah, as mentioned before, this salt is for skin and lung therapy. It helps with eczema, psoriasis. The third term I'm forgetting, rosacea. And yeah, the Halo generator collides the pharmaceutical grade salt into a almost a fine particulate dust that is able to get into you. And one reason that, I mean, we have a commercial grade chamber. It's very nice. It's more expensive, and people that come into Reenergize can use it. But this little salt chamber here is the one that's at my grandma's house, and she was able to do it at any time of day when she needed it. And it sucks, but we have a cold, flu, and cough season. Once it gets that transition, everybody gets sick. And if you do this a little bit, and I've got 3 kids, and once one kid goes down, another kid goes down, and the whole family gets sick. So just having this in the garage in the attic, and once August ends and school begins, because once they go to school, it happens. Having this out and then just popping all your kids in there for 10 minutes or 15 minutes may help to mitigate a lot of stresses and unnecessary sickness. It's a preventative measure, but it also is a post measure where if you are sick, it can expedite the healing because it does reduce the inflammation in your lungs. It does increase the circulation, and it gets you back on your feet, being healthier quicker. Now, these are also to rent because if somebody doesn't want to blow 2 grand, but they're like, hey, I'm sick and I want to be able to do this. And how much time am I going to spend taking the kids to the doctor? What tests are they going to do? How much time are we going to be out of work? What is the opportunity cost of our time lost? What is the pain and suffering to be able to stay home to help our kids? So, I mean, it is to purchase $2,095 or to rent 525, and that seems high. But when you get into thinking, oh, I can do this for myself, I can do this for my wife, I can do this for my grandparents, I can do this for my kids, it's going to happen every year. It just pays for itself.
Makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about some of the membership benefits that you have at ReEnergized, your human optimization studio.
Yeah, so the benefits of memberships are very those benefits are very multiple, and there's a lot of them. There are the best cost per treatments. So you can go all the way down to 58% savings on any of our treatments. Just as a comparison, the any treatments that we have in our facility is going to be within 15 minutes. They provide whatever benefits you want to derive from them. And it's just based again to be very easy, quick in and out, and then get you back onto your daily life. But with the basic membership, the cost of the treatment goes down to $33 per treatment. If you go down to the most higher and most powerful membership, it brings you down to $21 per treatment.
Yeah, I mean, if I can hop in a little
Of
bit,
course.
um, the benefits are great. However, the idea of the concept for re-energized is to have it be kind of like a kid in a candy store. If you want to walk in off the street, you could do any treatment for $50. Pure and simple. It's not going to break the bank. But another element that's even more valuable than the cost savings and value is the amount of time. We wanted to make sure that each treatment is concentrated in 15 minutes because an average person that's on the go really doesn't have more than an hour to spend doing anything. And they're lucky to get 1 hour out. That's why when you go to the gym, you're going to be training with the trainer for an hour, you're going to get a massage, you're going to do it for an hour. So, what we wanted to do was make it so that if somebody wanted to come in and really push, they could do 4 treatments. But realistically, 3 treatments and having time in between, maybe using the restroom, maybe getting a cup of water. We have a shower on premises. If you need to shower, 3 treatments, you're out. And so it's for a busy person on the go that wants to either start their day off right with a cold plunge, and then maybe an infrared sauna for some contrast therapy to vasoconstrict the blood, and then the vasodilate, and then maybe a meditation session to be awake without having to self medicate with coffee or green tea, as we all do. These non invasive methods can be a surrogate to be able to be an adjunct to a quality of life. With that, that's where we had thought, great, if any item can be retail for 50 bucks, then with membership, why don't we just let the client choose whatever treatment they want? So if they get a membership of 3, they choose anything of the 3. If they want a treatment of 7, they choose any treatment from there. That being said, as you have higher membership, you're going to be getting higher savings per treatment. With our lifestyle wellness products, you're going to be getting greater savings with the higher membership, but everybody's still going to get a savings with us. And in the higher levels, you're going to be able to bring a friend.
Mm.
We've morphed it into where we give complimentary stress relief sessions where people can come in. That's a $50 value, where they can have compression therapy on their legs, their hip, their arms, while doing a brain tap, brain meditation session and having a targeted light therapy. Now, we wanted to do a layered treatment like that so somebody could really get a feel for a lot of what ReEnergize is to offer, because it's not just a name. We want you feeling re-energized when you leave. We want you feeling more empowered. We want to try and educate you while you're there, because a lot of our tech is really far out there and we get that. But the more you understand, the more you want to do, and the more addictive it is to feel like a self empowerment. It's almost like we're in the Wild West going out and we're on the Ponderosa doing new things in a new frontier. It's very exciting.
Well, and like going building off of that, we also provide like performance assessments, so we're able to kind of figure out how you where you started and how you've improved. We have a neurocheck and HRV test that helps us analyze the stress level of a patient, but also their health, whether it's mental health, whether it's physical health. It has like a lot of different little chapters, little points that we can touch on. It also goes into mental points and auras and all those chakras things. So it's very, very nice to see how our clients are able to feel better and get better,
Mhm.
not just by their testimonial, but having this actual science that tells us about all those points that they're doing great on.
Yeah, like with anything, you always want to measure, and we love getting metrics to be able to show tangible, concrete benefits to our clientele. That it's like, hey, this is where you were when you came in, and this is where you are when you came out, or this is month after month, so that you can see the tangible, concrete benefits rather than thinking, well, I think I feel better, but I don't know why.
Having the baseline and showing the metrics.
Yeah.
That's great.
The other great thing about the membership is that we're able to offer the consistency to our clients. Because again, like just like gym, you're not going to go to the gym one and just get some like lifting going and then have like bigger muscles or better muscles. So the consistency is being given by this membership. I understand that there's a lot of people that are a little skeptical about, signing up into a membership. A lot of the time it's looking into like some sort of advertisement membership, and it's pretty much just a hole into your wallet. This is more of a help to your body in order to create those benefits and create this enrichment within your body. So yes, those membership might sound scary to some people, but you're really doing yourself a favor. And so having that consistency is going to derive all those great benefits and build some healthy habits.
Another point to add is that we do have operating hours currently from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, we are finding that there may be a morning rush or an evening rush, and we'd love to be able to have people say, "Hey, can I come in at 9? Come on, can I come in at 10?" And we'll make it happen. Um, we want to be able to get the hours that best service our clients' needs, and one of the ideas as this gets further and more people are interested is I'd like to have this be a 24-hour business model wherein off hours, individuals can be using our treatments at a reduced price to make it more affordable for people that don't have the means to be able to be paying full retail, but are able to do it in off hours and make this technology more accessible to the masses.
So are you saying that you can use any of those treatments by yourself, Sean?
We will have a technician there at all times as we expand further.
But my point is that yes, like I can put myself into the hyperbaric by myself and don't have to have like a person on site. Yes, of course we need supervision for all of it, but
Right.
that's the greatest point about all those toys, I'm gonna call them, is that they're easily like turn on, turn off, and I can access it myself.
Yeah, no, a major reason, and thank you, Raphael, for noting that, is these are all equipment based treatments where we don't have to have a person on staff that's massaging you, or, and I don't want to speak, I love massage or something else, but this equipment can be there at all times and it makes it more accessible to people.
And to your point, like I was talking to a lot of physical trainer or like actual university team, and they had envisioned a room or a building that would be aligning with all the chiropractors, the trainers they have in, but because they can't always be available on off hours, just like our building and our proof of concept as of right now, they wanted to give those athletes the ability of healing themselves or recover, help them recover by themselves, not having this trainer on site. So I'm super happy to hear that from another industry, a sports industry, which I'm very involved with, and they are aligning with the same vision that we are.
That's great. So on these monthly passes, you're gonna see, like we had said, that any a retail treatment is $50. That being said, if you agree to spend $199 a month, you're gonna be getting 7 treatments. 7 times 50 is $350. It's a $350 value. However, you're gonna be getting it for 199 bucks. So you're gonna be already getting a sizable savings, and that's our lowest price point. Currently, it's called the Bronze Pass, but we're thinking of giving it a different name that helps to indicate more the individual that would be interested in a Bronze Pass. Like, let's say somebody like an enthusiast, not exactly a full time person that wants to dive deeper in, but just have a taste. Maybe on the weekends, I'm thinking that perhaps it may be a mother of two that has limited time that could pop in maybe for 1 or 2 treatments a week. And she's still kind of trying to understand it. She might like the cryotherapy, but because she comes in and she's like, "Ooh, well, what's that red light bed? Oh, Nancy, I see you. What are you doing getting out of there? Oh, I want to try that." So it's enough to be able to do what you already know and maybe 1 or 2 treatments more. Of course, anybody can opt in if they're at a lower pass and like, hey, I want to move up. Okay, well, then we're not going to go charge you another 299. During that, we'll just add the $100 on it. And then now you get to, or if you're like, you know what, I'm going away, pause my pass, or I'd like to move down. We try and make it very simple for people to be able to navigate according to their needs and their schedules. And if you have any interest in our Immortal plan, which is unlimited, give us a reach out to contact at reenergize.com and we'll hook you up.
So let's talk about the mild hyperbaric packages in a little more detail now that that you'll have available.
So those mild hyperbaric packages were meant so that we can provide a longer treatment as well as more treatment. So creating this consistency. Basically, a 1 hour is going to be going for $120 per hour. But with increasing the number of session and therefore creating more benefits, we also are offering greater savings. So if we go all the way down to a 40 sessions package, that price per hour decreases to $85, which is a saving of 1,400. It's just a great industry price compared to other companies into the industry. So we wanted to, like we talked about a little bit earlier, offer this mild hyperbaric treatments at a longer session. Usually we recommend an hour, not further than 2 hours, but just giving them again that consistency so that they can come back and and have multiple treatments throughout the week. Having like 2 to 3, sometimes up to 5, is highly recommended. So having those days on and those days off are going to be brought by those packages, and this is how you're going to get the best benefits off of it.
You give me an idea, and this was something we should discuss later with the intent to be doing 24-hour business model. I think that we should offer a 20% savings off of any of these if they do it in off hours. So that's something for us to discuss.
Will do.
You might wanna make sure it's not gonna be your most popular time before you discount it.
It may well be, and then we've just found a whole new area that we weren't charging anything for
Yeah.
that helps to make it more accessible and gets it going.
So let's talk about the healthy happy hour. What exactly is that?
So, Raphael and I do time restricted feeding, commonly known as intermittent fasting. And I know there's been recent arguments that it isn't a benefit, but after doing a lot of research, I find that it really is a huge benefit. And the average person eats lunch around 11 to 1. And if you're fasting or time restricted feeding, you're breaking your fast, usually around lunchtime. How best to augment that intermittent fasting than to do a treatment to propound the benefits from the fasting from hyperbaric and the or red light or any of the stuff, assuming that that those treatments are included. I have to go back and see, but we have select treatments where during that time window you can get two treatments for the price of one. Um, so if somebody does lunch from 11 to 12, you do a treatment after, two treatments after. You want to expand? I kind of slipped up on that one.
The healthy happy hour came off of the well-known happy hour into the food and beverage industry. We just wanted to make sure that our happy hour is being interpreted as something of a healthy habit. Hence the term healthy happy hour. We wanted to make sure that this was during a somewhat convenient time for people to come through and during our business hours. So we made sure that it was going to be an 11 to 1, which is usually during lunchtime, only Monday through Friday, because usually most work are during this time of the week. But yes, we do offer two treatments for the price of one during this time and during those days. Be mindful, these are going to be selected treatments. It probably takes off, I would say, 3 to 4 of the treatments that we have, but the most general treatments that we have are on the list for sure.
Yeah, for example, we can't very well do cryotherapy yet because the cost to operate is so much. But if you're thinking of like the biocharger, or you're thinking of the energy lounger, or if you want to do mental health, doing it with the brain tap or the Roxiva, which we can get into more, it's a good thing to do. Conversely, if you've got a buddy or a girlfriend, and you're like, "Hey, we have an hour lunch. Why don't we go over to Miguel Jr.'s and have a burrito, and that'll take 15 minutes, and let's go do this together." You can bring a friend, and I like to experience things with others because if you don't have relationships, what's the point of living? So happy healthy hour or healthy happy hour is also a way to bond more with somebody on a new expedition and to try something different. It's kind of like a fun, giddy experience where if you bring your friend and you're trying something new and you're like, oh, we just both did a cold plunge together and oh, I'm so freezing and it's invigorating and it's almost like a campfire bonding experience to do and then get back to work and deal with the hustle and bustle.
Cool. So I think now we're going to go into the 6 R's of re-energize. So basically tying everything together with all of these different treatments that you have and trying to figure out, you know, based upon my needs, what treatment I should do. So why don't we start with, if I'm have a lot of pain and I need pain
Yeah.
relief and I want a fast recovery, I'm preparing to do some sort of marathon.
Yeah, well, typically what we find is that everybody's unique. Everybody, for lack of a better term, is a snowflake that has their own unique needs. So our intake is quite a bit of questions, and it may seem somewhat invasive, but we really want to customize the treatments and the approach to the individual. That being said, we've found in our constant process of honing it to be customized that it typically falls into six categories of re-energized, and we like to call them the six R's of re-energized. Think of a wheel, and there's different elements with it. There may be people that are on the outliers that would fall outside of that, but I would say for the general public, there are 6 R's to re-energized. The first one that comes up is pain relief and recovery. And I mean, Raphael should speak to this one because he falls more into that category at this moment in time.
Yeah, so like that is going to be for, I believe, I mean, I would think more of an athlete kind of a person, or somebody that, doesn't have to be pro, doesn't have to be amateur, but somebody that works out on a weekly, mostly a daily habits. So we do recommend the localized cryo. So this is, again, in layman's term, it's an ice patch, but having this minus 220-degree breath of air going onto the part of the body that is hurting is much more powerful than putting some ice cubes on top of it. The second treatments that we do highly recommend is going to be compression therapy. This is very good for draining your blood and having sure that this blood cells go up and down all the way to whichever little capillary it needs to be. We do have the boots, we do have the arms, and we do have the hips attachments. So great also to relieve any type of soreness from any of your muscles from all the workouts.
And increased lymphatic drainage.
And that as well. Thank you, Sean. And then the last one we do recommend is the infrared sauna. Great for detoxing any of the issues and any of the little things that are in your body. Just sweat it all out. But again, combined with that light therapy, which this one is infrared, which goes very deep into your tissues, helps the energy creation within your cell, and will be very good for anti-inflammatory purposes, and therefore just helps any inflation into your body.
As well as detoxing, which
And
it's a toxic environment. So being able to infrared sauna detox is very important.
and at your studio, I can do all three of these. I could do localized cryo, compression therapy, infrared sauna, and I can do all that for $99, all three sessions.
It would, if you're doing it as a pass, you would be doing it for cheaper than that. If you're doing it as a bundle, and the difference for a bundle is some people don't want to get a membership model. They may not be hanging around a lot, and they'd rather just be able to do it in a one-off, but not have to pay retail. So if they'd like to do that, we can sell them 6 treatments, any 6 treatments, and that's $250 at this moment in time. Or 12 treatments, it's 500, or 13 treatments, it's $500. But yes, you go in, you do 3 treatments, you're out in your hour, and you're happy. Cool. Thanks.
All right. Are we on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's stay away from the intro pass.
Sorry.
No problem.
Um, so the next R that we have for Reenergized is one that's focused around performance and fitness. So can you walk me through what that entails and the treatments that are recommended and who fits into that persona in terms of performance and fitness?
Well, I'm going to defer to Raphael as he is a professional athlete. However, I'm going to put on the caveat that everybody wants to perform at their highest. And I believe that even though the athletes that they're going to align with this, I think more of the stressed out, overburdened mother that has to take the kids to school, drop them off, pick them up, get them dressed, feed them, take care of themselves. And I mean, I don't want to talk about roles and get into that, but the moms and the wives and the women of the world carry a large burden, and they are always relied on to be the consistent performers. So I'm going to go to Raphael for the segment with the athletes because that's where most of them see the rock hard abs and think, oh, it's the athletes. But for me, it's the women.
So speaking, tagging on to this, yes, this is a plan that is a little bit more based on high performance and high fitness personas. So this is going to incorporate the very sport lover that does that definitely on a daily basis, that is expecting to perform at their highest, like Sean said. Um, we have a specific combination for those people. The top one, the most important one is going to be the red light therapy bed, which gives you a full body exposure to a combination of red, blue, and infrared lights. This stimulates energy into your body and helps with inflation, but also keeping your body up and going for the 24 hours, the 48 hours, however long this energy needs to be in your body. This
The red light bed, I'll note, since I'm just doing a little cap for the women, it helps with skin elasticity. It helps with collagen production. It helps to mitigate skin spots. It helps to get rid of diminish wrinkles and fine lines. Many women love to go in and use it for the beauty aspect. And like I had said before, I go in and I fall asleep. Even just a simple stress relief. That's great. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Don't be sorry. I'm
Yeah.
happy that
Yeah.
you're incorporating some of our great women into this discussion. So the next treatment that we offer for those is the biocharger. The biocharger is this very interesting machine that we have into our facility that encompasses a lot of the things that Mother Earth give us. It combines gases, electricity, PEMF, and frequencies. So all these are given to us by the atmosphere. However, we spend like 80 to 90% of our time into an enclosed environments. And so being able to have this exposure while being into an enclosed building is, once again, I think something very magical. And having this one machine give you all those different benefits and like supercharge you for the future treatments you're doing afterwards is really amazing. The really most important thing that this machine does is that it makes sure that depending on the recipe that you choose on the machine, it makes sure that your cells within your body are vibrating at the right vibration they need to be vibrating at. Any cells into not only our human body but any objects resonates at a specific frequency. Think about it as like those opera singers that are singing at a very high pitch that are able to break glass. This is because those glass particles are vibrating at this specific frequency, and by this high note that the singer is able to hit, that is resonating and just breaking that glass all over. Um, Anything else you want to add about the biocharger for
I
women
mean,
of the world?
besides these subtle energies and the more than 3,000 recipes that they provide, I know that this is listed under Refuel, but I would honestly recommend to do this to supercharge any of the treatments that we do. So if you come in and you decide, I want to do biocharger with cryo, I want to do biocharger with cold plunge, you can't go wrong. It'll be a compounded effect. And I love the biocharger. I mean, my wife, she had thyroid cancer. There's a thyroid recipe. Um, there was someone else that had osteoporosis. It helps with osteoporosis. Just the fact that the frequencies that they found that are researched under a company that's a nonprofit called the Frequency Foundation. I think you look them up, frequencyfoundation.org. You can see all of the different frequencies of different sicknesses, ailments, anything, and they have programmed these subtle energies to resonate throughout our cells to be able to establish benefits to it. So I'd highly recommend the biocharger with anything you do.
What
Moving on,
about compression therapy?
moving on to the compression therapy, it's also a great way that is well known into the sports industry. It's been around for many, many years now. It's really amazing to just get this lymphatic drainage and get your blood to flow consistent on a consistent way throughout your whole legs, arms, hips, wherever you're feeling some soreness, whichever part of the body you're working out during the day, the week, whichever it is. That just helps you with a a great and healthy blood flow throughout all those organs.
Another point with the compression is some of our treatments are go 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 cryo or cold plunge, and it's stressful and you get invigorated. But compression's more relaxing and more take it easy, almost like a spa vibe, and sit back, maybe do a compounded treatment with one of our targeted light therapies or with the brain entrainment exercises so that you can refresh.
What I would like to add, and it's not on this pamphlet because we only could use those three different treatments. And I think that at some point we should create another R, which if I could make it a
Yeah.
Raphael recipe, because 6 R's adding another R
Yeah.
to the re-energize. However, I am a big fan of the hyperbaric treatments, and so this is something that I've seen benefits into my performance. I do believe that creating something for each person is also important because each person is going to be different. Not all of these are going to be working 100%,
Mhm.
but that is my little
Mhm.
hyperbaric.
Yeah, and to your point, you knowing that we love doing research on artificial intelligence, after our 52 different research queries into it, it had approximated, and this is, of course, anecdotal and not fully verified, but a 34% increase in your performance from front loading hyperbaric prior to an event. I don't know if Raphael had noted that he went and played 8 games back to back in our national championship for his age division. And he, well, you speak, did we already speak on that or no?
We have not, but we can. I
I
can
mean,
give you some details, and we
yeah, you
can
segue
progress.
in.
But
We
yes, it
also don't
was.
know what sport Raphael's talking about.
So I've let's see how we can say that. So I've been a professional athlete for water polo sports for the last 5 years. I've played the sports for a long amount of time since I was 6. My dad was a water polo player, so he just threw me in the pool and threw me a ball, and I was able to, fell in love with the sports. So, um, yeah, recently I have in the last year or so I've been putting the hyperbaric treatment as one of my daily routine, and every morning doing an hour. And recently I had two main competitions that were like year end competition that were very um, important for the closing of the year as a performer athlete. One of it was in the US, which is called the Masters National for USA Water Polo, in which I was asked to play and wanted to play into two different teams under the same club, but two different divisions, so the 20 plus and the 30-year plus. And that was 8 games in 48 hours. So quite a lot of time into the pool and quite a lot of time in swimming around chasing a yellow ball. But
And he leaves out that he was out late and he was doing late things and getting, and still was at performing at the highest levels.
performing at the highest level and like not feeling really that tired, because I've had done those tournaments in the past and I've double rostered multiple times, never to this greater amount. But this year was just mind blowing to see how I was able to go through all those games and not even have a single Charlie horse. Of course, I was tired. I'm not gonna say I was like just performing and swimming back and forth with no issue at all. But I did not have very big aches or big pains or, of course, soreness, but not as much as I've experienced in past years. And, throughout the years, I've become
Hmm.
older and became all that. The benefits of it were amazing. And the other tournaments that I played in was recently came back from a Final Four tournament into the league I played into in France. Um, my team and I were considered as underdogs coming into the Final Four weekend, which is the last games and the final tournament of the league I was playing into. And it was amazing to see that even with 2 days landing prior to the tournament, but also an 11-hour flight plus the train plus the walking plus you know how it goes when you goes on trip. Well, I was able to be at my best. Played all the minutes during those 2 games and was able to help my team in all different aspects, whether it's the swimming part, the scoring part, the assist part, the defense part, the anticipating part. It was just an amazing feeling to have, not only for myself but also for others. I had the immense pleasure of having my parents, my sister, and her husband come over and come watch me play, and being able to perform at my highest level, being a great add-on to my team, which encompasses a lot of my childhood best friends. And being able to do all of that in front of my family is just heartwarming, and it's the best experience that I've felt so far into a competition. And yeah, it's amazing that a
So you like
small
hyperbaric?
I love
Mm,
hyperbaric.
me too.
All right, before we move on to the next one, you guys, when we did the intro for this, we didn't actually use the word refuel at all. So I'd like to just get it on audio where you just sort of reintroduce this section. Let's just use that word. And that way we don't feel like we missed it later. We can start with you.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
Are you talking
You.
about
Yeah,
me?
Yeah.
chat is.
So you want me to say refuel?
Yeah, just say so the next section, we talk is for people, blah, 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 and then just use the word refuel, and then we'll
Okay,
go to Sean, and then
got it.
Sean, just do a little bit.
Sure. We're going to focus on now the within the 6 R's of re-energized, how you can refuel.
yeah, no, we chose refuel because, like re-energized, I mean, you need to have the energy to do it, and these treatments help give you the energy or fuel to be able to be at your best.
Okay, good.
Thanks for that call up.
Yeah, no problem.
So the next one is, well, okay, mental wellness.
So for relax, I'm going to take point on this because
Do you want to have Chad start introducing it?
sure.
So going down the list of the 6 R's, one that you have is focusing on mental wellness and relaxation. So can you talk about what some of those treatments are and what you recommend to maximize that in refuel?
Yeah, we wanted to make this our relax an important component of re-energized because everybody wants to be the alpha, but I'm getting older, I'm getting chubbier, and I'm getting more realistic. And honestly, sometimes I just want to relax. I want to be able to zone out, not stress out, not run around, and being able to have a mental health component that helps me to reset my mind and increase my like a cell phone, recharge my cell phone is super important to me. I mean, you can only be high adrenaline so much. My wife and I, with our kids and everything that's happened in life, and I can go into details, but everybody's got something happening in life. We all have to take time for ourselves. And so we chose Brain Tap as a key component of the relaxation because of the binaural beats that happen where there's one tone in one ear and another tone in another ear. And it causes your brain to take those different tones and it causes almost a sedative, meditative effect of relaxation where I start listening for 3 minutes, and they've got at least 1,000 recipes where it can be somebody talking to you, David Patrick Porter. But I like the ambient sounds of the rainfall, or the river flowing, or a waterfall, or the ocean that mimics water. I'm a water baby. I play water polo almost 40 years myself, so being able to just unwind and let go is very important. The halo therapy, we discussed it before. The photo above is of our commercial grade chamber, where it's nice to, if you wanted to, listen to Brain Tap while you're in the halo therapy, having the pharmaceutical grade salt go on you, and then of course the biocharger for any treatment. Raphael.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to add into this relax R that we have chosen is yes, like Sean said, there is a lot of things that happen through life that are going to be very stressful. Um, can be job, it can be family, it can be a lot of different things. But something that I personally have experienced was once my physical health was endangered and having my back problem and having all those things, it did hit me on a stress level as well and mental level. Not being able to perform, having those all those like worries about surgeries and am I going to be able to do things again? Like all those things just add on to your mental states. And sometimes just being able to clear everything into your head and make everything go smooth through your head is going to be having a great effect on your body. Your body heals itself. That's the beauty of it all, and that's why we need to treat it as a temple. And being able to have a relaxed mind is it's going to be able to enrich the relaxation within your body. So that's the point I wanted to make about this R.
We did get another R with Relax recently called the Roxiva, which is a strobe light that produces fractals when you're reclined in a chair with your eyes closed that help to reach into your occipital lobe to help go through past experiences, past memories, some past traumas. There's a large amount of recipes for that. I don't know if any of you were into drugs when you were younger, but they have digital MDMA, digital ayahuasca. So you don't really do the drugs, but it mimics some of the effects to be going on that journey and perhaps helping to diminish some of the previous traumas that one has had.
Yeah, it's a very spiritual journey to add on to it. So not only that, but you also have those very soothing treatments that are relieve anxiety or any type of like having a nice little voyage somewhere that is enabled by those strobe lights hitting your occipital lobe, but also the noise canceling headphones that we have that are matching the light that is given to you with the sound that is appropriate for the state of mind you want to be in and the spiritual journey you want to go on to.
It's even got a weird recipe that I really like to use often. It's called "I love you, I'm sorry," and it's somebody that just repeats "I love you" and "I'm sorry," and it feels so relaxing to have that connection and to be able to just let go of some of your pain.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, you haven't heard that one yet, huh?
I haven't.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow.
I got one. I think there's another one underneath.
No, I'm good.
Get some.
Oh, some water if there's some,
Yeah.
Yeah,
please.
take mine. Oh, fuck.
It's you there.
Thank you.
Are we good on this one? Or we got
Oh,
some more for relax?
I
No,
think we're good
relax is
on
good.
relax.
Okay. Okay.
detox
Ready
and
when you are.
okay.
Give me a sec.
So one of the other R's of re-energized in terms of refreshing is actually detox and rejuvenation. Um, I'm assuming hyperbaric's probably part of that. Can you maybe also walk through some of the other components for this one?
Sure. Would you like to go or
I'll get started, and if you want to add some more.
cool?
But yes, this is specifically made for people that feel like they have a lot of either have like a lot of toxin within them or kind of evolve into a toxic environment, but also want to have this rejuvenation within their lives and on a daily basis. So we're trying to pick those different treatments that are going to enable this detoxification and rejuvenation at the same time. And yes, mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy is part of them. It's the first one we do recommend. It does create a greater intake of oxygen for your body, therefore helping with inflammation. And this is going to just help your body with also creating stem cells. It's going to empower a lot of things for your body to be able to just detox and get rid of all those bad toxins that you have in your body. On top of that, we do like to provide a red light pad, which is a localized pad. So sometimes, due to an illness or due to a scar or due to a specific area in your body, you want to have some localized red light onto it. It helps you just relax, still keep touch with the world. You don't have to be closing your eyes or going to whatever type of bed that we have at our facility. It just enables you to sit in a reclining chair and put a pad on wherever it hurts. That creates energy and creates ATP, therefore energy into your body, which is going to be given to the area you're trying to focus on. The last one, but not the least one, is going to be the infrared sauna. Again, we've all heard that sauna is great for detox. just sweating all the toxins out is the greatest way of getting rid of it. Same thing as when you work out, just the sweat is going to be able to evacuate all these nefast things inside your body. Pairing that treatment into an infrared treatment is again providing the energy as you're detoxifying your body. Combine those two together, and you get the greatest recipe to boost your sweat and uh, just make all the toxin in your body exit your body.
I mean, the studies are out there, and they're abundant with the beauty of sauna for the benefits of cardiovascular health and recovery and lifting, even delayed onset muscle soreness, and just getting through uh, perhaps some of the lactic acid and some of the other buildup from infrared sauna that can help detox. So I love these three. Many of our treatments are detox.
It was hard to pick three treatments for each of the R. I gotta say
Yeah.
it's very difficult. But again, like we talked about it in the past, every person is going to be different, and every treatment is going to provide certain benefits for each people. So once again, this might work for a large variety of people that comes through our facility. However, we're able to sit down with them, understand their problems, understand their pain, and kind of, not prescribe them because we're not doctors, but we can recommend the treatments that we've seen effects on ourselves or on others. That's the beauty of it all. Like your body is able to fix itself, and
Mhm.
each body is different. So being able to kind of test a little bit of everything and find out what resonates with you or does not, then just making your own recipe and making it your habit is the beauty of it all.
So going down the list in terms of the 6 R's, one of the ones focuses on holistic health and longevity. Can you discuss that a little bit and some of the recommended treatments that are a part of it?
The interesting thing to renew as one of our R's of re-energize is I'm learning uh, constantly that this is actually, in my opinion, a greater demographic and weighting than I had initially thought. After somebody gets above 30 years old, they start to realize that they're mortal and they have aches and they have pains, and those aches and pains don't go away until we meet our maker. So with Renew, the focus now is pivoting more so on longevity, anti-senescence therapy, and health span to try to help to mitigate some of the painful effects from aging and increase the quality of life for as long as we have. I'm proud to say that we recently had, I don't think it's Time Magazine, but what
People,
was People Magazine's most beautiful.
75-plus-year-old.
We a couple days ago we had People Magazine's most beautiful 75 plus year old, our beloved Vicki Lawrence. You may have seen her on Mama's Family and on Hannah Montana and the Carol Burnett show, and she absolutely loves cryotherapy, and rightfully so. It was invented in Japan to be helping to mitigate the effects of arthritis. And as we age, we get more inflammation. Arthritis is happening in more and more of us. And she uses this as one of her ways to not only mitigate some of the effects of aging in her body, but another side effect that is a benefit is the increased cognition that you get and the happy hormones that happen in your brain, the serotonin, the dopamine. So I really love that we offer whole body cryo at Reenergized, and we use it in Renew for holistic health and longevity. If you'd like to extrapolate onto the biocharger, we've discussed it. It's like it's like a pro athlete that you want on your team. You put them in, and it's always going. So to supercharge anything, have the biocharger with it. We discussed the red light pads. Honestly, any of our treatments are interchangeable, but we found that the hyperbaric itself, as discussed earlier with the the senescent cell reduction and the increase in the telomeres. I mean, longevity is where it's at, and we want to be here for time to go for ourselves and for our family and for our parents, and that's why having the at-home wellness products with your loved ones may perpetuate having better experiences with them more so, and for your family to enjoy. Uh, Anything else to extra elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about the biocharger, but again, like you said, it's a great super booster for all the different treatments we do, but it also helps all the cells inside your body to vibrate at the right vibration and the right frequency. So again, just matches this holistic health and longevity targets that we are trying to hit. Um, and again, the red light pads are the great way of creating and boosting ATP in your body, creating this extra energy that is needed for your body to perform at its best. And whether it's for physical activity or just the daily life, energy is needed, and you need your body to perform at its best for a various amount of different things. So, and again, just to go back on the whole body cryo,
Before you do that, can you go into some more detail on the whole body crowd from more of a scientific point of view? Just dig into it because this is the only time we've talked about it.
You're reading my mind. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Great. So the whole body cryotherapy for ours um, gets different ranges of cold from negative 166 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Any of those temperatures are colder than anywhere on the surface of the planet, regardless. But you can listen to music during it, and we have a button that we can push to discuss and explain the time. It has a magnetic door that you can push out. That's very little pressure, so that you don't feel confined, and there's a window that can come down if you are feeling claustrophobia. But they've found that it helps to reduce inflammation greatly in the body, and it helps to minimize the effects of arthritis for a period of time. Our body has over 60,000 miles of veins. So when you get into something that cold for 3 minutes, it vasoconstricts, meaning it makes the blood vessels tighten up. And then when you get out, your body naturally adapts and then it vasodilates, making your blood vessels get back to their size, if not a little bit bigger, and then back down to normal again. And with that, it's a major detox. It's a huge component for your neurotransmitters, which make you happier, make you more relatable, make you feel serotonin and dopamine. You get this rush, and almost a state of euphoria. When I'm in there for a period of time at a colder level, I feel such a serenity that I'm glad that somebody says, "Hey, 3 minutes, you got to get out," because I could just stay in there, and I have such mental clarity, and it helps me to not have to think all the time. Is there anything else you want to add with that?
well, the other thing that I wanted to talk about regarding the cryotherapy and how it works is you get into this small chamber that in which there is a lot of cold air that is being released into. Um, because of this cold air hitting your skin, your body is going to detect some sort of emergency that is happening. This temperature, like you said, goes back to
Yeah,
minus.
hormetic stressor.
Exactly, it
Yeah.
goes back down to like minus 160, minus 220. Um, this is going to be a very, very cold temperature. So your body is going to be alerted by your skin. Your skin is going to detect that some emergency is happening. Therefore, when this happens, your metabolism tells you that the main organs needs to be apported with blood as much as possible and kind of deviate from the members or the organs of your body that are not as important. So that brings, and that's where the vasoconstriction of the body happens, and just colluded the blood into your main organs and is able to pour a lot more into those very principal parts of your body. It then vasodilates, and your blood is able to flow back to all the parts of your body. and apport the amount of blood that is needed to all the other members and organs of your body.
Now, there's a few other things to note about the cryotherapy. Um, what you'll find is at other facilities, you may be able to experience cryo more affordably. However, many of them are known as cryosaunas, and what they provide is only up to the neck. And it's doing that because you can't breathe what's above it because it's liquid nitrogen. The problem with that is you do not get to have the cold on the vagus nerve, which helps to activate the sympathetic and parasympathetic response, the fight or flight, or the healing response, and you do not get the cold in your head, which helps to increase cerebral perfusion or blood flow to the brain. So, if you are looking to get a savings and do cryo, you may as well just go in the ocean and do it for free because I mean, heck, I love going to the ocean. Nothing's better than getting out in the waves, smelling the salty air, hearing the waves break, seeing the sun come down, hearing the birds glisten, hearing laughs in the background. I honestly, you guys shouldn't even come to our place. You should just go to the ocean. But you don't have the time. So if you don't have the time, come to us. If you want to say, hey, $50 for cryo, I found it online on Groupon for $30. Yeah, you're going to get what you pay for. You're getting a lesser experience. Our chamber is more expensive because it converts the liquid nitrogen into cold ambient air. So it can help to activate the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic response, the increased blood flow to the brain for the cerebral perfusion, as well as there's a new emergent technology where people were saying, "Oh, you can do more sessions in cryo, but we're only going to go to negative 100 degrees." Well, the clinical studies are at negative 166 degrees or more. So if they're saying, "Oh, well, the benefits," it's more for a wellness person that doesn't really want to derive the medical benefits from the very cold. But if you do an electric chamber that goes to a negative 100 degrees, they'll put a fan in there. And the new idea is called wind chill factor where it feels cold. So if you're just doing it to feel good and you don't really need to derive the medical benefits, or you don't want to be doing it based off of the various clinical studies, that is an option that's out there. That's something that we're looking into to potentially be giving both realms of the medical grade cryotherapy versus the wellness grade cryotherapy. And they're two abundantly different things.
The one thing I want to add to it, because we're not going to touch base on any of those R's, but it goes hand in hand with the whole body cryo, and you touch base on it when you say just go jump in the ocean and you'll
Mm.
get the whole benefits. We've also acquired a cold plunge, which a lot of us hate, but a lot of our body loves. So that is something that is going to create very similar benefits as cryotherapy. Um, it can be quite challenging. I think that the one that we have usually average around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Can go all the way down to 37 if needed and if wanted. But I think that the both of you can also expand a little bit more about your guys' experience into the cold
Well, I was going to
plunge.
say if you can describe the difference of your cold plunge compared to the ice bucket challenges or ice baths that you see in terms of how they work.
So, the reason that we got the cold plunge is that people were saying $50. Oh, that's expensive. I don't want to do cryo. We'll go in the ocean. We wanted to give them a different way to experience the benefits of cold therapy. And we have a cryotherapy cold plunge challenge where they can do both and see which they like more. Some people like the cryotherapy, so it's just cold air and it hits you. Other people like the intense feeling of getting into liquid and feeling it on you. This is another product that we have as an at home wellness solution that you can buy and you can use and you can have it at home so you don't have to be scheduling a time to come to our house so every morning you could be doing it. Our cold plunge is a therafrost and it has a ionized water and it helps to regulate the temperature that you're at. Raphael and I and a couple of the other athletes that we play with, we love to time each other and be competitive to see, all right, well, how long did Rob last at 38 degrees? All right, let's beat him. And then so it's like a metric for camaraderie and interaction as we're trying to push the limits to be able to see what can happen. And it's really fun feeling each other's bellies and going, oh my gosh, you feel like a slab of meat. But the visual acuity that I get after I'm in it for a period of time, my focus visually on somebody and my being able to be in the moment and the increased cognition. I mean, Chad, you did it a few times. What are your thoughts of the cold plunge?
I thought it was very intimidating initially. I can't do it as long as you. I lasted, I think it was 2 minutes at 44 degrees. Um, but for me, I preferred it because I have arthritis in my knees from playing hockey, and I definitely felt immediate relief afterwards. What I liked about it is how quick it was, even though it is only 2 minutes, but how I feel for days after is pretty significant in terms of uh, just massive pain relief.
That's excellent.
How often would you like to do these treatments if you had the capability of doing it?
Ideally, I'd love to do it every day and just build the tolerance longer and longer. What I liked about the one that you have is when I've done the ice ones, it's consistent in terms of the temperature, which I think is a pretty big difference.
It's good. It's good to be able to measure things like we had talked about with our performance testing and our heart rate variability testing sources and other tests that we have re-energized is to be able to see like where am I at? How do I feel? What is this? And this is we really love our TheraFrost cold plunge.
You touched based on it, which is the fact that it's very different that a just a bucket of ice. Because the problem with those cold plunge that just have the ice sitting is that the top is very, very cold. Yes, the ice cubes are floating, so they're on the top. The bottom of the barrel is a bit hotter than the surface of it. The TheraFrost cold plunge that we have is constantly being filtered. So the water goes through ins and out. Every single drop of water that is inside this cold plunge is at the temperature that is onto our froster. So that is what I think is making our cold plunge something that is a superior cold plunge than others.
Hmm.
It's also very convenient,
Hmm.
being able to just push a button and having your water inside your cold plunge to be at the temperature that you want it to be is, I think, a lot easier than carrying all those ice packs that you got from whichever stores if you're not able to produce ice at your place and not having to wait for your cold plunge to be able. I mean, ideally, like you said, you want to do it every day.
Yep.
A lot of people do it every morning.
Hmm.
They don't have the time to wake up and go to the grocery store, get their iPad, get it into their cold plunge, wait for the water to get at the temperature, just having their fraise, their neck freeze to death just because the ice cubes are sitting there. um, it's just amazing to be able to jump into this cold water and just have to push a button.
Another point with the filtration is that you don't have to change the water if it's at your home. You're using it for yourself, of course. At ReEnergize, we change it very frequently because more people use it. But you can have that same water for a week or 2 weeks, and it's not going to be stagnant because it's being filtrated. And you can program it to turn on at a certain time. So if you wake up at 6 a.m. and you want it at 37 degrees, 6 a.m. It's already cooled down and it's at 37 degrees. And you just get in, you get out, and you get on. That being said, back to the ocean, you can do that. Alternatively, just get a bowl with a bag of ice and put your face in it. If you want a free way, you will get a very large benefit of cold therapy having your face because it has a lot of nerve endings on it, and that will cause you to, that's the poor man's way to do cryo. But if you're wanting to do it in a greater way, oh, one thing we didn't hit on with either of the cold therapies is the thermogenic effect that happens once you get out. I mean, if you go on the internet, you'll see people like, "Oh, I lose 800 calories in 3 minutes of cryo or this of a cold plunge." I'm not going to say you're going to burn 800 minutes. Each person, 800 calories, but each person has a different metabolism. They have a different rate of thermogenic burn. But with the cold therapies, you do get a conversion from white fat, which is less healthy, to brown fat, and it increases the quantity of mitochondria as well as the ATP production of the mitochondria in your body. So there's not just the mental benefits and the detox benefits. There are some of the fat burning benefits that come from it if you're able to do it with consistency. And the best way to do it with consistency is to have it in your home. So There it goes with the ReEnergized Lifestyle at home products that we're trying to perpetuate to the world.
I think that might be a wrap. Is that the last one?
We got our last R.
We got one more.
One more. Oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah.
Sleep and stress. I thought we did sleep and stress relief.
Nope.
Nope.
We did mental health.
You're right.
That's the R.
So now let's talk about sleep and stress relief. What are some of the treatments that you recommend in terms of the recommended combinations to make sure that you get re-energized?
I'd like to take this one just because I'm older and chubbier than Raphael is, but uh, the hyperbaric for me, with the consistency, like discussed before, has helped the sleep. It's helped the stress relief. The brain tap, the brain entrainment exercises, also now with the Roxiva, it's helped with the stress relief. The infrared sauna, it helps. I detox every night. I have a sauna space, which is a different infrared sauna. It's an incandescent light. I love the company. I love the product. They haven't made a commercial grade application for us to be able to have, and we're trying to work out a partnership with them. But being able to flick on a light, have that infrared sauna be fully hot in 3 minutes, I'm sweating. My 7-year-old and I go in, we're sweating. We read the Kindle that you told me to buy. I read him kids' books and he reads them to me for 20 minutes and I turn the thing off. I don't have that guilt of, oh, I have to go have a regular sauna take an hour to get to be 180 degrees. I can flick it on, I could use it, I can flick it off, and I have no guilt. I love the sauna space, incandescent sauna. And Brian, if you're listening to this, please help me to get a commercial grade. And I want to be able to help push your product because you have an amazing product. And I'm going to make sure that we splice this out and send you a video. Brian Richards, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a few things on because I also can be stressed and have some sleeping problem depending on whatever scale is number the scale is showing. So um, it's also a problem that is something that is a little bit not taken too seriously for a lot of people in the world. I think sleep deprivation is a very it's a very big problem, and we do have a friend that is suffering from it, and um, a lot of different unhealthy habits are can be created in order to you know get your sleep in. um, but again, the stress is also another very toxic habit that inhabited inside our body, inside our brain, inside of all of us, inside of plenty of us, and I think more and more nowadays. So we wanted to create this recipe for them in order to help them with their everyday life. Could be young, old, medium, male, female. It doesn't matter. Like this gonna apply to so many different people, and like Sean said, those three recipes are those three treatments are perfect for this recipe. We get very sleepy and comfortable into our mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy. The brain tap is a guided meditation that takes you into a very soothing mental state. Same with our Roxiva treatment as well, which is not listed on here yet. And the infrared sauna, again, like Sean explained, it's a very nice way of just taking a break from life and sweating everything out, being able to relax and take on the heat. It's a little also more comfortable to be heated up rather than being cold out. So
Oh, one other thing with sleep and stress relief and our at home wellness products, maybe we call it re energized on the go,
mm,
rebranded it or lifestyle, is Raphael and I sometimes have to hit up conferences. And to save funds, we get two beds in one room. And I'm sorry to say that I'm snore. And Raphael
I,
can't.
I don't think that snoring is the right term for it. It's more like a very big rumble and
All right,
uh,
so we're going into ours. I roar and rumble. Okay. But what we have is we have a brain tap, and he was able to put on the brain tap. He was able to do a guided meditation while I was sleeping. He wasn't able to. So if you have a partner that snores or makes other noises in the night, as some of us do, you can wear a brain tap, and that'll help you to be able to be in your own world. I love the Lumaflex Essential, or I'll put it on my chest, and it's so comforting just to have that light while doing a brain tap. My youngest child, we put it on him, and he'll want to stay up and watch TV all night, but we do that to him, and he knocks out. So these on the go, at home wellness products we call our lifestyle brand are awesome.
I put that red light pad on my back while falling asleep, so I can relate to that. Yes, it's a
That
little
wasn't
blanket.
just the red light on your back, buddy.
Is that brain tap? Is that noise canceling or no?
It can be if you put it into your AirPods, you can noise cancel everything, which is what I did when Sean was rumbling into our hotel room or a conference in Texas.
So what you see here is the physical of what they sell, where it has a visor with blue light that goes into your eye lids
Hmm.
and a red light into your ear for increased flow. That increases the utility of BrainTap by about 30%, but you can Bluetooth it to your headphones, your Beats, and you just take them with you anyhow, and you put them on, and it's still going to have an outsized effect to help you relax. And they have a digital version where if we can have you use it, and you would be able to take it anywhere just with your cell phone as an app, and it's a membership model if that works for you as well.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
2 hours later.
You've been waiting 2 hours to do that
It
too.
was.
Chad?
No, I think you captured everything.
Okay.
Right.
I
Thanks,
think we
Solomon.
nice.